Hi everybody, my name is C-Miz, or my regular name is Chris, and I'm from Nice and Ill, and I'm cool. So I'm gonna teach you a game I made up.
We made up.
Alright, I'm gonna teach you a game we made up. The name of this game is called
The Queen's Quarters.
It requires a 52 deck of cards and 4 quarters for the game. We're only gonna use 2 right now because there's only 2 of us. All that's required is the first line on a solo cup. You pour that in as a standard home cup. We're going to pretend there's 6 people here just to give you an idea of how each hand plays out. The object of the game is to be the last person on the table. Only way to kick somebody off a table is to win in a game of quarters.
The reason why you have 4 quarters is for each queen card, right?
Every hand with every player is shuffled after you draw. Every time you draw, it's shuffled right after. The only time it's not shuffled is on the last players. So you shuffle once, the last 2 players. Meaning that you're going through the deck once. So if we were to go through a deck once right now, it would be put right here. King, 4, we drink the difference. 10, 9, drink the difference. 9, queen, there we go. We're playing for the end of the game. There are only 4 or 5 other likely things you could draw in this deck that will cause something else on the table. So let's just go through this, for instance, a couple of hands. What I mean by that is if you draw a duplicate, let's say there's 6 people, 2 8s are drawn. Those 2 people have to chug their beer, and they are still susceptible to being a person chosen by a queen to play quarters against. Duplicates chug. Let's just say jacks and 3s are drawn. A jack and 3 are drawn somewhere on the table. A high card and a low card. Those 2 people have to drink the difference. This is 11. This is 3. So it's 8 seconds they have to drink. Let's say an ace is drawn. That's a pour card, meaning that you have
They have to pour for 13 seconds.
They have to pour 13 seconds in the middle of the cup. Now, as all this is going on, there will be cards called pass cards. Cards that you get a free turn. You don't have to do anything. Okay, here's a good scenario. This deck is drawn. All that can happen here now is there's a duplicate between 2 people.
That means they chug.
These 2 people will chug the beer that they have in their hand, while the high, which is an 8, and the low, which is a 5 card, drink the difference.
3 seconds.
For 3 seconds, and these 2 people have a pass.
So they don't do anything.
They don't do anything in that hand.
They get a break.
So, obviously, like playing kings, you're going to want to come to the table with your own beer. You have to in order to drink. So, let's show you an example. So, here's 6 people on the table. We all flip. In this deck, all that happened is a high and a low card.
So the 10, which is the highest card out of the 6, and the 4, which is the lowest card out of the 6, they're going to have to drink for 6 seconds.
So as you can see, people are going to be constantly drinking in this game. In this scenario,
the person who has the ace has to pour the beer for 13 seconds, and then they're done. The 2 people who have the duplicates of the 4,
chug a beer.
They're going to chug the rest of their beer.
Oh, I got scared. I thought the house was going on fire. Just a candle.
And the person with the high card who has a king and the person with the low card with the 2, they're going to drink the difference, so they'll drink for 10 seconds.
And then the 10 is the pass card.
And they have a break and they don't do anything during that round.
In this scenario, whoa.
We have your pour card.
You have a pour card for 13 seconds.
And then they're done.
They're done. This is a perfect scenario to show you what goes on with 3 queens. These 2 chug.
Just like they did in the other. Chug. They're done.
They're done. Now, there's 3 queens drawn here. So that means 3 quarters are required. These 3 people who have queens will play a rush game of quarters where they're all trying to bounce in. So since there's
all 3 players.
So since there's no third person, me and Ashley will rush right now. We're trying to grab each other's quarters, whatever we have, and get it in. Whoever gets it in chooses between. There, I got it. She'll have to drink the cup.
But let's just say there was 3 queens playing, and this queen won, then they would decide out of these two which one has to drink, since they're the winner.
And they're still on the table because it's a queen
It's
card.
a queen. You only stay on the table if you're a queen if there's 2 or more queens.
To try to make this as clear as possible to you guys, the only time anybody can be kicked off is if there's 1 queen on the table. If you have 2 queens, then 2 quarters will be used against each other. The loser will drink, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's say Ashley drew the 5 and I drew the queen. And she won. She could kick me off the table even though I drew the queen. Basically, you want to be the last 2 people on the table because you're going to drink the most, and we'll explain how that happens. Now that you understand the queen concept, that's the main part you have to get.
So if it's just a regular card playing a queen in the game of quarters and the regular queen wins, and the regular card beats the queen, then that queen's off the table.
Or vice versa, right?
Yeah, or vice versa. If the queen beats the regular card is out.
We have 1 queen, and that's it. We have a high-low card. So the jack is the high card, and the 3 is the low card. So that's 11 minus 3.
8 seconds.
These 2 people will drink for 8 seconds. These 3 people are technically the passes. Now, what that means is I get to choose not just out of
the 3.
not just out of the 3. I could choose out of the people who just drank 2, but it's better to go for the people who are not drinking because people who like to be passes are, sissies. I'll use that for a lack of a better word right now. But anyway,
Shut up.
let's just say I choose the 6. You're playing me in quarters. Now, this is where 1 quarter is required because 1 queen is on a deck. You take turns going back and forth. I just made it. Ha ha.
So then that means the person who had the 6, which is me, I have to drink this, and I'm out of the game, so now there's 5 people playing.
If she were to beat me and she had the 6, I would be kicked off the table just as easily, even though I had the queen. So you have to be good at quarters to stay on the table anyway. Yep. So now, instead of 6 players, there's 5. 3, 4, 5. All of them flip. And what is done here? Ooh, we got a queen and an 8. All right, so we have a pour card. 13 seconds, you pour in. And you have a queen. Plus the high and low, 9 and 4. These 2 players are going to drink the difference.
5 seconds.
5 seconds.
And now I'm the queen, so I could challenge any of the other 4 players to a game of quarters. So let's just say he beats me and I have the queen, then
She's
I'm
off.
automatically off even though I had a queen card.
Right. So now she's off. Now there's 4 people. Pour the drink in. You're going to drink more if you're one of the last people because you're going to keep splitting the difference. Maybe sometimes you'll get a queen right away, but that's the object. These 4 will flip. Now all you have here is the difference. 10 and 3 will drink the difference. 7 seconds, and that's the round
The
of
other
that.
2 get a pass.
All right, there's 4 people. Look what was drawn. A pour, so that's 13 seconds. 2 chugs, they chug their beer. And a queen challenges someone to quarters. I challenge Ashley. We play. She beats me. I'm off the table. Now there's only 3 people. Let's just say in a rare situation this happens. This was drawn. 2 aces and a queen. Both players will pour 13 beers in. If at any point the beer is too, it's up to the top, you add another cup. So you constantly add cups if more pours are being put down. But those are rare situations. Then this person will play quarters against whoever, yada yada yada, and so forth.
No, there's 2 people.
There's 2 people. In the rare case that in the rare, very rare case, it's almost
very rare.
Very rare. This is like a sudden death situation. Let's say we draw 2 queens. Now, if I drew a queen and she had a 5, we'd play winner stays on the table. If we keep playing one-on-one against each other, we're going to get the difference of each other's cards and keep drinking. The difference. But if she drew a 5 and I had a queen, winner wins the game. Losers off the table. But if in the rare case that it's a queen and a queen, what will happen is you 2 will be rushing to play quarters. The winner, obviously the loser, chugs the beer. The loser only has one thing they could do with their quarter. They have to spin it, and if they could stop it they're back in for another hand. All right, we just drew 2 queens. This is how a sudden death situation will go down. We drew 2 queens. Let's play. I made it. Chug the beer.
I'm not really enjoying
Well, drink it. It's empty. Ooh. All right. Now what she'll do is, obviously she doesn't want to lose. It's almost like playing beer pong and you get a sudden death shot. What she'll do is she'll spin the quarter, and if she could stop it, she's in. Which she didn't. She lost. Those who know how to play bottle hockey will know what I'm talking about. In the rare situation that happens, if you could do that and stop the quarter from moving, see how it is? If I turn it? Well, whatever. If you stop it, you're in for another hand, which means every time you draw, it's shuffled right after. The only time it's not shuffled is on the last players. So you shuffle once, the last 2 players. If there's 2 people and you get the same card, you chug a beer. Queen. There you go. Now we play each other, and whoever wins, wins.